welcome to the rundown of my day one on Temporis. So right off the bat, this shit is exciting. If you are not partaking in Temporis just because you're not bothered looking into what it is or whatever, I promise you, go give it a try. It is worth it. This shit is fun, and you don't want to wait too long before, otherwise you can end up way behind everyone. Which I kind of did end up behind everyone because fucking Ankama can never get anything right. Like they release this server, and then first day the whole game crashes. Not just Tempests, the whole game crashes. And of course they go and they fix it, but not for Mac users. And what am I on? I'm on a Mac, so I'm unable to access it for the first day. And instead of closing the servers until all players can equally like access it, they're like, oh no, let's keep it open, let the window players get ahead, and then the Mac players fuck them. A lot of you are going to say, oh, that's what you get for playing on a Mac. Fuck you. Anyways, so this is basically what I did in day one. I would have rather do maybe like live commentary as I play, but then you wouldn't have time to see anything because I just do so much in the day. Like literally I played all day, and if I'm just doing live commentary, then they can't really be accelerated, and then you won't really see anything of what I did. It's just not possible. So this style of commentary is a lot better for, oh look, this guy recognized me. That's kind of funny. This style of commentary is a lot better for this sort of thing, just because I can show you all of the things that I've done, because I just do so much in the day, and I did do so much. So right off the bat, I just go around trying to explore with my rogue, trying to drop things. So if you guys don't know, like in this Temporis thing, you can drop spells. Like every spell is available to every class, and like the spells are a bit different. Like you'll get like Tear, for example, is agility. Normally it's like a chance spell, right? But like here it's agility, and you can have it. It's supposed to be a Sadida spell. Now I can have it as a rogue. I assume most of you do know that stuff, but anyways, the server is really really quite fascinating. Like I've never actually played the Temporis before. Like I sort of know what they're about, that sort of thing, but I've never actually played, and just the way this one's going, I really fucking love it. Like I played basically all day. My eyes are gonna pop out my head. I've played so much this whole day, but it's definitely worth it. And again, if you guys are not playing, I definitely recommend you do. So right off the bat, what do? I'm exploring my character, kind of farming, getting a little bit of XP, that sort of thing, going around beating monsters. Then I go to Astrip, try and beat some bigger monsters. The thing is, there are so many players running around. You will not struggle to find help. So I just go to Astrip, and like any fight that I want, I'll just enter the fight, and I'll click help requested, and people will start joining, like no doubt. Look, any fight, unless, okay, I guess in that one I killed myself, but usually any fight I want, I'll just go. Or like if I see anyone with an open fight, I'll go, because I'm not going to win by myself, but all these people can win by themselves. And not by themselves, like together obviously we can win, right? Power of team. And it's fun, right? Like you're going around, you're dropping new spells. You're dropping, also you'll see that like at the end of the fights, you'll see the drop screens. It's like full of gear, because not only do you drop spells, you also drop all the gear of the level range of the mob that you're fighting. So let's say I'm fighting Peewees, right? Peewees are around level like 12 to 15 or whatever. So because of that, I will also drop gear around level 12 to 15, which is probably going to be like Peewee gear, adventurer gear, that sort of thing, which is nothing crazy. But later on, you'll see a little a little interesting thing that I did, which takes advantage of that. Me and my friend Diffuse, but I won't skip ahead. We'll wait till that comes up. So you can also see there's a new summon. Like there's not only old spells that you can now access, there's also new spells. Like that summon, that's not a thing that's regularly there. That like fish that you can summon, the snapper. And you can see the drop lines are immense. Like everyone's just dropping right and left, dropping everything. You can easily gear yourself, get crazy gear. I decided to go agility just because I dropped the spell Tear, and it seemed like a really good spell, and I was like, oh, this spell could carry me. So I go and I'm trying to look for like good agility gear or whatever, something I can wear. I'm going around trying to drop stuff, and then I go and decide to do the Carterum dungeon, of course, because I hit level 10. So I'm like, you know what? I just go, and someone's waiting there. He's like, yo, you want to join? I'm like, yeah. And that's what's so cool about like these servers. It's just everyone's like willing to play with each other and everything. So we're trying to do both achievements. That would be a zombie and first, and we got them both, and it was fairly easy. We just got through it. Levels me up a little bit. I get some. Not only do I get the achievements, but like one of the cool things on Temporis is you get these things that are like Temporis tokens. I guess they're called like Tempokens or Temp tokens or some shit like that. Basically, those like kind of track your progress. You get them from things like quests and achievements and um, yeah, and achievements. But like the achievements, there's like new achievements for it. For example, later on you're gonna see I'm gonna do some wanted notices. those also give you achievements that give you Temporis tokens, and those are really good because those Temporis tokens you can, the more you get, the more like cool rewards you get. Like for example, I think when you get 10, you get I don't know, you get some shit, but like you get something and then you get another thing when you get like 30, 40, 50, and then like later on when you start getting 1,000, like there's you get an ochre Dofus at one point, then you get a Dolman axe, and then you get like crazy shit, and then you get like cosmetics and all this stuff. So you definitely want to be stacking up those those Temporis tokens, and they're not that hard to get. Basically, just do achievements, do quests, that sort of thing. You'll start stacking up quickly. So here, let's get back to what we're actually doing right now. Yeah, so we're just going through the dungeon here. It's fairly easy, and I was looking for help. I was standing outside the dungeon, and then this guy messaged me, and he saw my name, and he recognized me, and he's a really cool guy. So we decided to kind of hit the dungeon together. He kind of leashed me through it. I was still getting my my feet on the ground, and he kind of leashed me through it. He was very helpful. Him and that Osmodus there, and honestly, just watch the fights and watch the spells that are cast and everything. It's honestly crazy because I've never experienced anything like this. You just like look at this stuff. He's like fucking like teleporting with a bomb, teleport back, Furia. I'm a rogue doing divine sword and Wakfu raise and like summoning shit. It is insane. And I promise you guys, if you are not partaking in Temporis, you are missing out. You are missing out. Don't be lazy. Don't say, oh, like I was trying to convince my friend to come and join Temporis with me, and he's like, oh, why would I give up like all that I already have on Echo? It's like it's not even the same game at this point. Like it's something completely different. Obviously, it's based on the same things, but dude, like come and try it out. So I definitely want to see you guys there. And if you message me on Discord, if you catch me at a good time, we'll definitely do stuff together. Um, Today I was playing with Diffuse, who is my friend, and also on the Discord we were voice chatting, and then another guy came and joined us to voice chat and stuff. And you can always join us there. After we finished that sand dungeon, we went and did I went to do field dungeon with some guy. Again, just a random guy. These are not people that I know. You just find people because there's just so many people just walking around and everything. You can see in the chat the whole time I'm talking to Diffuse, he's kind of like waiting for me. I was like, bro, wait, I got to do these beginner dungeons and like figure out what's actually going on. And so you can see actually in the messages, we're trying to figure out mobs that we can fight later on. I keep teasing this, but this is going to be really cool because it's like one of the highlights of the video. So just wait, and you'll see. But for now, we'll focus on what we're doing right now. So we're just doing field dungeon regularly, going through it. This helper mage is pretty cool. You can see every start of his turn, he gets like a state over his head. So every class actually has like a passive or an active bonus. Like either you start with like a really cool spell, like some spells that other classes can't have, or you start with some effect that other classes can't have. Like I know Xellers like get AP at the start of their turn, something like that. Rogues have like this new bomb mechanism and like a cool kickback kind of thing. Elytropes have portals, but like other classes have like more complicated things like Fekkas. You'll see later on when I do Kickroach Dungeon. Like actually, I'm not sure if you will see it, but anyways, like Fekkas when they get hit, they get really big, and I think it like protects them or something. And Kraz, like if they get hit in melee and then in range, they become unlockable. Just some crazy shit. So you'll see here, my bomb just exploded and killed a bunch of them. It failed the challenge first. I mean the achievement first, which kind of sucked. But we're still working on tight, and it's working out pretty well. You'll see like tier really carries, and I put that bomb next to me, and I have, if you look at my spell bar, I also have the block. The block is the city of the spell. I honestly, like, I'm repeating a little bit, but this stuff is just really exciting. So raking up those achievements, raking up those points, and then I went out with Diffuse for a little bit of a little bit of an adventure. So we went down to the right of Brakmar. There's like this zone. It's like desecrated highlands. Actually, it says it in the top left there. So basically, it's a level 200 zone, but there's just one mob called the Kerrygool that can't really hit you except in close combat or up to 3 range. And he only has 4 MP, he can't teleport or anything. So basically we decided to fight him, and it was just really easy because we're just going through it, and we ended up beating him. And the reason we're going for him is because since mobs drop gear that is the level that they are, since this is a level 200 mob, we can drop level 200 gear, which I'm not going to spoil it, but we do end up dropping. You'll see. Actually, did I just spoil it? Yeah, I just said I'm not going to spoil it, and I spoiled it. But yeah, basically, look, we dropped those gold gal boots, And Diffuse is going to hand them off to me, and I'm going to come here and I'm going to crush them because hopefully no one else has dropped them before me. So I go ahead and crush them, and for MP runes, and boom, I get a really nice coefficient. Someone else has crushed them before me, otherwise it would be 2,000 something. But this is a really solid coefficient, and we get a lot of MP runes, which we're going to use later. No spoilers again. This time actually no spoilers. We farm that zone a little bit longer, and then we go to this like Porco territory because those mobs are not too hard. That Pinola there can hit pretty hard, but Diffuse has a spell, Fermentation, which is the Panda spell, but he has it obviously. And what it does is kind of just give you those shields, and the mobs can't really penetrate through the shields, especially, you know, whatever they can hit through the shields, he can do HP steal back with like Burning Stroke, which is supposed to be a helper mage spell, but he has it. And then we drop more things like Fedela Cloak, and I end up dropping a cool hammer, and then I go and do even more crushes. See what we get from those. I think I do like focus critical hits. Basically, always want to be the first one to crush something. So you see there, I get like 2,300 coefficient, and I end up with 100 something range runes, and those are really useful. And I end up trying to use them. And look, you can see here all these spells. Like you saw all those spells, and there's just so many spells in the game. So here you see me spamming MP runes that we just dropped. I split them with Diffuse, and I bought a shield, and then I tried to land an MP Exo shield, which I do. Uh, Poor Diffuse, he uses all his runes and doesn't land anything, so that's unfortunate for him. And then I decided to go and do some more dungeons because the achievements also give you like pure kamas, which I can use, that sort of thing, so it's always useful. I come over here to do this tofu dungeon, and it goes pretty well. We're trying to do some achievements. We have a little bit of trouble near the end, but it's not that difficult overall because we have a lot of protection spells that we normally wouldn't have, like Fermentation. I even have Tortuga, like the Masquerader one that you use to shield others. I even have that, which, so between that and like everyone can shield themselves with Fermentation and everything, we're doing pretty well. And well, yeah, we're just clearing out the mobs here, going through them, and we end up winning without too much trouble. And now that the dungeon's done, I decide to go and crush for some, try and get an AP Exo. So I get this guy to try and put on some AP runes on this ring that I was going to use. Obviously, there's no stats on the ring itself, but it doesn't matter because I was going to use it as part of a set. And I put 132 runes, AP runes on it, which we had gotten through a technique that I used with Diffuse. But literally nothing lands for the 132, which whatever. I get a little bit depressed, but I'm like, you know what, let's go ghost hunting. And I decide to go and do this dungeon. I recruit a little bit. We put together a team, and we go and hit the boost dash, which goes pretty well. We're trying to do some achievements here. Basically, I want to do as many achievements as I can for two reasons. One, because obviously you get those tempo tokens that I mentioned earlier, and two, because you also get like pure kamas from the achievements. The resources don't really matter that much because everyone's kind of doing it the same achievements, so you kind of end up with these resources in like really high quantities, of course, but so you can't really resell them that much or that well, but it doesn't really matter as long as you have those like pure kamas. That's kind of what matters. So we're just going through here, beating this dungeon. I end up having to save my Eleutrope, so I do like a teleportation, and I put shield points on him. You can see the drops like Mad Tofu Cloak and just like random shit right there. And then I decide to go and do Kick Rush Dungeon. This one was kind of funny because you'll see it in the top right. I'm actually in a group of 4, not in a group of 2. And we're going through it as a group of 4, and then at the last room, we're like, oh, how about we split? And like most of us are like yes, but one guy's like, no, I don't think we'll make it. But we're like, yo, too bad. Like we all want duo achievement. And so he goes with another guy, I go with this guy, and then they die, and they're like, shit, we can't do this. And I'm like, bitch, what do you mean? No, we can't do this. We can do this. So so my partner dies, and he's like, huh, see, you're gonna lose. But I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna lose, and I still end up winning, and we get the duo achievement. And I felt a little bit bad for leaving them like that because then they had to find other people to actually finish it. But whatever. That's on them, I guess. At the end of the day. So that was it for that. And then we went and did. As I was mentioning earlier, the wanted notices. So this one we're just doing Stelia, because what you get from those is Dopploons, but you also get a lot of tempo tokens. I think you get 10 per wanted notice, like these lower level wanted notices. I think higher ones you'll probably get more. So I went and did this one, and I got like 180 Dopploons, which I'll use to scroll myself later, and you also get pretty good drops. And then I went and did another one. This one's called Sam Wiz. To beat this one, you have to line up the Arachne next to him and then kill the Arachne. So it was a little bit complicated, but we have so many movement spells just gathered from so many of the different excuse me, guys. From so many of the different like classes and they all have different movement spells, so it goes pretty easily. To get this one though, I had to become a Bontarian, so I had to go and like craft 10 Twiggy swords, all that shit. But it still goes really easily. I end up beating him, take him over to Bonta, and then I decide, you know what, I want to make some combos. So I level up a little bit my Costume Magus, and I go and I do some maging, and I end up landing a 100 vitality, 110 vitality, 100 agility Mad Tofu Cloak, which I end up putting in the market for 100,000 kamas. I also sold my MP shield for 100,000 kamas. I'll throw up the screenshot. And that's basically where I left off. A little bit of kamas in the bank, a little bit of things for sale. I leveled my Costume Magus by like maging a couple things over vitality and stuff, and I ended up putting them up. And honestly, this first day was awesome, and I can't wait to do, can't wait to sleep and wake up just so I can play again. This is going to be great, and I hope you guys are looking forward to it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope to see you in Temporis. Make sure you hit me up. Have a good day.